Ladies and gentlemen, we finally have news regarding the resuming of Formula E Season 6. Thank goodness. We've been waiting for this news for quite some time, and last week I promised you all I would put out a video sharing my thoughts on when I thought the Formula E season would continue. But late on in the week, as I was planning my recording, there was more and more rumblings that this week we would get some kind of confirmation with a calendar. So I thought I'd hold it off, and fingers crossed we would get an announcement. And that's exactly, yes, what we have got today. And though Formula 1 is just 2 weeks away, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for Formula E, just under 2 months. However, in a 1 week period, my goodness, is there going to be a lot of racing. So, as it stands, the situation is we've already competed in 5 races this year. 2 races in Saudi Arabia, won by Sam Bird and Alexander Sims. We then went to Chile. That was won by BMW's Maximilian Günther. Mexico, the circuit that Formula 1 used, just a revised layout. We went there for round 4, where Jaguar's Mitch Evans won that particular race. And last time out in Marrakesh, which seems so long ago now, it was Antonio Felix da Costa taking his 3rd ever win in Formula E, his first for Techeetah, and currently he is the man that tops the standings. But with only 5 races down in the season, we can't claim a world champion. We can't say that da Costa is our champion for Season 6. We needed more races. And with obvious events going on in the world at the moment, and with Formula E races being based in city centres, the hearts of city centres as well, it was not as if they could suddenly just move the date a couple of weeks later, head to Rome, close off all the streets. That's not practical. Also, we've seen with Formula 1 in recent weeks, cancelling the likes of Singapore, Azerbaijan, 2 street circuits, and the main reasons for that is that they felt they couldn't control crowds coming to watch the spectacle. And that is certainly something I was nervous about with Formula E restarting. But luckily for Formula E, they've got a little trick up their sleeve in Berlin. And the announcement today that not only will Berlin resume in August, on the 5th of August, with the next race on the Formula E calendar, it will also host the 2nd race to return. And also the 3rd race, the 4th race as well, and the 5th and 6th races. So in August, we will have 6 races in Formula E, all at the German Tempelhof Airport circuit. I'll explain why in a moment, but you're also probably wondering, well, 6 races, there's not going to be 6 weekends in August. And you're right, they're all in the same week. So from August the 5th, our first of 6 races, through to August the 13th, it's going to be racing almost flat out in Formula E. There's also something quite interesting about that week as well, we'll talk about in a moment. But why Germany? They're certainly a country that have handled this current situation fairly well compared to most countries. But on top of that, it's the circuit itself which is the main reason why this is going ahead. And the German Tempelhof Airport, as you can probably guess from the title, is in an airport. It's not on city centres. It's not on city streets that are usually in use during everyday life. It's an airport that isn't usually working for the majority of the time. And so ultimately, they can race there as much as they like. And something that's also very unique about the Tempelhof Airport is that they can use different layouts. The circuit already has used 2 different layouts in its Formula E history, because if you think about it, it's just a flat airfield and they just put barriers on it. So they've used 2 in the past, and now they were planning already on using a 3rd one for Season 6, a brand new layout. So what they're going to do is, for each of the double headers, so 5th and 6th of August will be 1 double header, and the 8th and 9th will be a 2nd, and the 12th and 13th will be a 3rd. They're going to use 3 different layouts for the races. So the fact that it'll be in the same location will not actually result in the same circuit, which is quite a nice little effect. And I thought, I don't know quite what the restrictions would be at the particular circuit, but it would be fun if they used the first season layout that they used that went through a hangar, if that's possible. That was really cool. Then they used last season's layout, and then they used the new season layout. That would be quite fun. But what's nice is they've got a bit of breathing room. They've got a little wiggle room and they can play about with this kind of thing, which should mean that though it's going to be almost flat out racing, it should mean it's not just the same week in, week out. And also with Formula E, if you're not aware, it's not quite like Formula 1, where I think people are already nervous with Formula 1, that with back-to-back Grand Prix at the same circuit, we could just see the same person win, the same teams in the same order. With Formula E, it doesn't quite work that way due to the qualifying system completely mixing up the grid. And yes, there'll be drivers that each particular circuit plays to their hands, but again, they're only going to be 2 races at one circuit and then they move to a different layout, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. With it being all in Germany, I'm not too sure about how this will affect the championship's world champion status. This year was going to be the first ever year where a Formula E driver would become world champion. But with Formula 1, they have to go to 3 different continents, and Formula E has already ticked that, heading to Saudi Arabia in the Middle East, in Asia. We've already been to Mexico in North America, and we've already been to Chile in South America. So going to Germany, going back to Europe, that'll be 4 different continents, so they should be okay for that one. And this will take them up to a nice 11 rounds, which also should be fine for a world champion. Want to quickly mention, that week is going to be carnage. Plenty of Formula E, but also, Sean the F1 Word pointing this out over on Twitter, it's also the week where we've got back-to-back British Grand Prix. So we'll have the British Grand Prix at the beginning of the week, then 4 Formula E races, then the second British Grand Prix, the 70th anniversary race, they're calling it, and then another 2 Formula E Grand Prix. E-Prix, I should say. Come on, Dan. It's been a while, but what a crazy week that's going to be. Flat out racing, and I wonder how that's going to feel now we've had over pretty much 6 months without any kind of racing, electric or Grand Prix racing. All I can say, it's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, there is going to be restrictions with fans going to the circuit. I doubt there will be any, especially regarding the fact that there will be no media heading to the circuit. No photographers, even broadcast teams. It's unlikely they're going to go themselves. And it may be that Jack Nicholls, Dario Franchitti, Nicky Shields all do it via Zoom call like they've done the virtual E-Prix. And actually, a lot of the virtual E-Prix could be quite a nice testing bed for things like setting up the Zoom calls, for driver interviews over long distances. But we're going to have to wait and see. But the number at the moment is that there will only be 1,000 people on site at any given time, including local suppliers, medical crews, the teams and drivers, of course. Camera crews will still be there, so you'll still be able to watch the race, but will be kept to a minimum. And I think that has everything covered. And of course, there will be 2-metre distancing, I would imagine, key health and safety protocol measures. They haven't been too clear on what that is at the moment because we're still a couple of months away from any kind of racing. Well, less than a couple of months now. But I'm so excited from this news. And with my favourite driver, Mitch Evans in P2, should be a lot of fun. Also, I will quickly mention this because I never actually did a video on this. And we may do it in the next couple of weeks, depending now on what happens after the announcement of the season resuming. There will be some driver changes when we return in Berlin. We all know about Daniel Abt, and that's so frustrating still that he won't be able to take part. And it would have been, what an amazing weekend it would have been for him. German driver, German car, 6 races at his home Grand Prix. Wow, I need to stop saying Grand Prix. That's a habit I need to really get rid of with Formula E. But Daniel Abt will be missed, but he has not been replaced yet at Audi. Now that is a seat that could be winning races when we return and one to keep an eye on. But we have also seen over the past couple of weeks, Pascal Wehrlein, Mahindra's golden boy, has left the team with immediate effect. Now, it seems he will be taking the place of Neil Jarni at Porsche, and what a lineup that would be. Wehrlein and Lotterer for Season 7. Oh, that is going to be too good. But it's not clear whether he will take Jarni's seat for the remaining 6 races in Season 6 at Porsche. Waiting for an announcement on that, and though Pascal will not be driving for Mahindra, it's not actually been confirmed he'll be driving for Porsche in Season 7 at all as of yet. So that's kind of why I was waiting on that one. But Mahindra, who have Jerome D'Ambrosio in their other car, he is fine, but they also have a seat available. So expect 2 rookies on the grid by the time we get to Berlin. They may bring back Amaro Engel, someone like that, who's maybe been out of the sport for a couple of years, but I would expect a couple of rookies for the final 6 races. But what a crazy story this is coming out of Formula E today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like this decision they've made? Are you not a big fan? As always, if you are new around here and you're loving Formula E and you want a little bit more Formula E content, feel free to subscribe. Like the button. Oh, it's time we end it, isn't it? Press like if you did enjoy, dislike if you didn't. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.